Hi, everyone, and welcome to Two Gen Same Chaos. I'm Allyse, and this is my co host, Christine. We really just wanted to start this podcast because we both feel that social media is a huge part of today's society, and it kind of implies a motherhood standard that is very hard to reach. And so we want to create this space where any mom can join in and feel welcome and feel validated and feel good about the way that they're raising their kids in a judge free zone. So I am 35. I have two children. Jolie is 5, and my son Buddy is going to be 3. I have been married to my husband for 8 years, and we have a happy little life, but it can be very crazy with 2 children and trying to manage through all of that. So that's why I've asked my dear friend, Christine, who's had a little bit of experience in the motherhood department.
Yep. So I'm Christine. I'm 54, and my daughter Elizabeth is 20 years old. She's going to be starting her third year of college this year. So yeah, but smidge more experience. I don't know that I actually know any better what I'm doing, but we'll see. I've been married for about 28 years. I am a teacher. I've been working in education for about 15 years, and we thought we would start this first episode because it is time for everybody to get ready to go back to school, talking about all things related to school. Allyse is going to be a kindergarten mom this year, so there's a lot of emotion and stress and questions and figuring out what to do that go along with that. So we want to talk about that.
So we wanted to start off this topic with just a little bit of info. We are from Michigan, so I just did a quick Google search for some information based on where we're located. Um, there seems to be a lot of back and forth about what school option is best for your child. So I just have some numbers here done by a census from the 2023. And it says that about 6.58% of children are homeschooled in the state of Michigan, where the public school enrollment in the 24-25 year was a big number.
Oh,
A million? Is that right?
1,382,099.
And I also need to go back to school. And then charter school enrollment for the 24-25 year was one.
154,888. It's okay. It's all right. You're doing
Yeah,
good.
it's fine.
It's fine. Big numbers are hard.
And those are all K through 12 grades. I also read that in the state of Michigan, a parent doesn't have to let anybody know that they are homeschooling. So that's interesting.
Did you see my eye roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So here are my thoughts on that. So first of all, I know a lot of people, a lot of my daughter's friends homeschooled and did a great job. I know that there are also some people who call it homeschooling, but they're actually not homeschooling. So one of my concerns as an educator with homeschooling is that these kids are truly getting the education that they are
Hmm.
supposed to be doing. So my advice to someone who is considering homeschooling, look into it. There are homeschool co-ops, homeschool organizations. Elizabeth's friends had some really great opportunities through these co-ops and different classes that they can take. So whichever one you choose, I'm not judging you. I think it's great. I've seen people have great homeschool experiences. My daughter went to a public school. We had a great experience there. I work at a charter school. So I've been able to kind of see all of the different experiences. And I think it really just comes down to what is right for you and what is right for your family.
100%.
I know for myself, homeschooling would have been really hard, because even just getting through homework with my daughter could sometimes be challenging. So I'm not sure how that would have worked. So, at least when you were considering your kids and picking a school and where they would go to school, what kind of things did you take into consideration?
So we did consider homeschooling very briefly because my daughter and I butt heads like crazy. Even this summer, I've tried to do work on little things, and it just doesn't work for us. We are just I don't have the patience, and she just wants to do it on her own, her way. She might be like her mother. So that is why we chose our local school district. I actually loved her preschool teachers there. They were amazing. They helped us transition really well from daycare, and they're extremely helpful. So I felt very confident in making that choice to move forward with the public schools. And I do think that no matter which one you choose, if you homeschool or if you send your kid to public school, we still, as parents, need to be involved in our children's education. I'm not sending my child to school for them to raise my kid. So I still need to be involved in a parent. And that was a conversation that not only my husband and I had, but also I talked about it with my mom because how do you make that decision? What was your thoughts in 1990 when you were sending me back? Like, and there's only so much as parents that we can teach, and at some point they kind of do need like an outside influence so that they can learn how to make decisions. I know I'm kind of rambling now, but um so that was part of it too. And I think that with the school that we chose, the teachers were amazing and they showed us that they actually cared about my kid. And that's really the bottom line that
Yeah.
we chose that route.
And I think that's one of the things that makes it harder for parents nowadays. So back in 1990, I'm guessing your mom, she's actually over here in the corner with us. Did you even consider other like alternate schooling options aside from your local public school? No, she
No.
says no. So in 2010, when Elizabeth started school, there were people doing different types of schooling. As their homeschool, there's a charter schools. There was a charter school. There are several charter schools in our area, but it wasn't as much maybe the norm. There were
Mhm.
a sector of people that were doing that. Um, I know we are fortunate to live in a pretty good school system. So, it might have been somewhere in my mind to kind of think like, oh, should we send her to our local public school or send her somewhere else? But it just to me seemed like the normal thing to do. And I don't want to say that if you don't do that, you're not normal. I'm saying that was like
The most
the
common.
norm in my
Yeah.
world. Because I see great things from all different kinds of schools. So I'm not putting anything down about different schools. There's also private schools that we didn't mention. And I'm not sure the statistics on that, but just so that the private school people know, we know you're out there too. We don't want to leave anybody out. I just thought of that. So I think that's another challenge with parents now is that not only is there the pressure of everything else with parenting and raising your kids in the right way and turning them into really good adults, now I also have to decide where I'm going to send my kids to school.
Yeah.
And I think this is from what I've seen in movies. So we're in Michigan. I think we mentioned that. I know from what I've seen in movies in bigger cities in New York and things like that, this is probably not new because I hear a lot of people are in other areas where sometimes it is more getting into the prestigious school and some of those types of things. But I think for most of us, um, that plays into it and it makes it a harder it just makes it one more thing as a
Yeah.
parent where you're like, am I doing this right or am I
Yep.
not?
Because now we have so many options and we always want to choose the best option. And then you talk to people from each thing and each person is telling you why their way is the best way. So then you're like, oh, well, so then you have that tug of war with yourself. So we're laying it all out today,
Yeah,
kind of just from all
yeah,
aspects. And again, like this is what worked for us and why we came to that decision. We're not saying that anybody's decision is wrong. And
mm,
we definitely need to just kind of respect each other's decisions because we are all in different boats, basically.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so this isn't it at all to make anybody feel bad. We just want to give a little bit of information um, because school is coming up and oh my gosh, I am not ready.
yeah,
Not.
yeah.
So I'm so happy that Chris is going to tell us how we can get ready.
We can get ready. So I did a little research and found some different information on some tips for helping you to choose a school. So one of them is to talk with current parents whose kids attend that school, which I think everybody does that. What one of the articles that I read was interesting because it said talk to parents outside of your circle of people.
Okay.
So like instead of just talking to your friends who
Mhm.
have kids that go to that school, talk to some other people that aren't within your friend group And it was kind of saying that by doing that, most of the people in your friend group are probably going to be kind of like-minded people. So
Right.
talking to people outside of your group might give you some different perspectives. And on that note, yeah, talking to parents who have kids that go to different schools in the area to get their perspectives, their takes, find out about, if you can even a little bit about what their kids need or why they felt like this school was better for their kid, because there are different schools that are going to fit different kids' personalities and different kids' needs better. So
Hmm.
talk to people who go there. Most schools offer school tours.
Oh.
I recommend going there while the school is in session, because rather than just going to an empty building, or a lot of times they'll have kindergarten roundup or other events or activities for incoming families to see the school. But when you go there while school is in session, it lets you see what a typical day at that school is like. It lets you see the classrooms.
Hmm.
It lets you see, do you see kids um, reading
Struggling
books,
or
struggling,
yeah.
or does it look like teachers have procedures? I know at our school, they will even take parents into a classroom to kind of observe a little bit in the background. So that's a great way to make some observations and see what's going on while school is in session.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can do is look at the rankings, and online reviews. You want to be careful about this. You can get good information, but make sure that there's a lot of different organizations that do studies on schools. So you want to make sure you look at what information or what statistics they are looking at. But those can be really helpful. Online reviews, you want to be a little bit careful with that, because like anything else online, sometimes people will put a bad review on there just because maybe they just had one bad incident with the school.
Hmm.
So you want to be, careful with that. And number one, overall, trust your intuition. It's your
Yes.
family. These are your kids. Do what is best for your family and your kids.
Hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So what? So we've kind of talked about numbers here in our lovely state. We talked about some good helpful tips. What though? So my daughter is supposed to be starting school like the second or third week of August. I don't have anything yet.
That's okay.
I haven't got like a letter. I don't know who her teacher is. But when I was in school or going to school, it was a big deal. We'd go to the school and your name would be posted and you'd have to find your name and see your teacher. And then you'd have to go to that teacher's list and find out what you needed to bring for the first day of school. Like it was fun to
Yeah.
me because,
Yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah.
excited. But I feel like that happened more than a week before the start of school.
Yeah. 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 You are telling me something that I hear from a lot of people and I see a lot online. I know even some of the like Facebook groups and like the town that I live in, some of the other town, I already see people posting like, why isn't the school put out the supply list? And when am I going to know who my kid's teacher is? Different schools have different structures for how they do that.
Okay.
I know that the school that Elizabeth went to, usually like a week or two before school, they had certain days and times where you could go in, you picked up your information, found out your kid's schedule, who their teacher was. Some schools will like mail the information. My school has done different things different years. We've had some years that we've let people know like through a letter or some kind of communication during the summer who their teacher's going to be. We've had some years where they find out a couple weeks before school. We have a big kind of like back to school carnival that parents
Oh,
come to, and
fun.
that's when they find out who their teachers are. And the supply let me finish this one, and then we'll talk about the supply
Because
list.
that's my next point.
So different schools have different structures for doing that, but most of them have some kind of organized way that they do that. Some will have what they call like an open house before school starts. Some have ones like maybe right after school starts where you actually get to go in and see the classroom
Mhm.
and meet the teacher. So there's different structures with different schools. Um, there's different reasons for how and why and when they give out that information. Some of it has to do with staffing. Sometimes they don't know. There's a lot of change in staffing right towards the just before the beginning of the school year, because that's when a lot of schools do their hiring because they know who they're going to need. So some of it is for that. If we tell you in July, Mrs. Jones is going to be your teacher. Well, in August, Mrs. Jones gets a job at a different school. So now parents are like, but you said Mrs. Jones was going to be our teacher. Um, remember that teaching is a job.
Yeah.
It's a job just like any other job. And we're all sad when a favorite teacher goes, or, for me, a coworker, but it's like any other job. You're going to move to what's right for you. So some of the reasons schools are not intentionally withholding that information from you. There are reasons that they're doing it. The dreaded supply list. My daughter went to a school where you didn't get the supply list until I think it was like after school started, or maybe when we went in for that registration a couple weeks before school, we got the supply list. What we found was often then we went to the store and all the school supplies were gone. Because apparently people were buying them in, like July when they first put them out. So that can be a struggle. So remember this. Your child can show up on day one of school with just their little selves and a backpack. I mean, we want you to send those supplies in because most teachers don't get a big budget for things, but do not go out and feel like you have to buy, the big pack of pencils and the big pack of crayons. Get the basics depending on the age of your kid and go with that until you truly know what you need, because you don't want to spend a ton of money. I'm right here. I thought I had a statistic. Yes. According to parents.com, the average family spends nearly $458 per child on back to school supplies. Here's the kicker. Most of which get lost during the year, about $175 worth, and then you're going to go spend that money again. That's another reason why maybe if you get your kid the pack of 10 pencils, don't send them to school with all 10 pencils, because those 10 pencils are going to be gone in that first day. I think your mom, are you raising your hand?
No.
Oh.
Would you like to contribute, Mom?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on the whole school supply thing. I would do the same. Go to school, go to buy them, and they're up. And then I'd hear from the kid, I don't have my supplies. Everybody else had.
Or it wasn't cool because everybody had the cool stuff. So we're in like the bottom of the barrel at Walmart. Like, wait, what's neat? And it's just all the.
Yeah.
Especially whatever the theme was.
Yeah, the theme was big when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see that with my daughter yet. Like even so her preschool was actually at the school that she will be attending kindergarten, which is another reason we chose this particular school. But I don't remember anybody, and everybody was kind of different. Like Bluey is really big with the kids when they started school. And she's obsessed with Sonic, but I don't really see like one consistent theme. So that's kind of helpful, I guess. Maybe that's changed,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it has in 100 years that we've been.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's the same. I think every year we see that where kids is mostly it's the backpacks.
Yes.
Their backpacks are the ones with the theme. The only thing I would caution you on that is hopefully the kid doesn't change their theme mid-year and want another backpack. I don't know that it happens very often. I feel like when Elizabeth was younger, yeah, we had the princess backpack and some of the other theme ones, and then as she got older, we went to more just the plain ones.
Yeah.
We tried to get more than 1 year out of backpacks. Doesn't always work. I have a coworker whose daughter had the same backpack her whole school career. That's kind of amazing.
It didn't break or bust or
yeah,
that's insane.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, it's hard because you also want your kids to fit in. You want your kids to be normal. My kid would be traumatized if she didn't have all the things, because that was just her. She's an organized person. She likes to have all her ducks in a row before she goes to do something.
And that poor little girl is now directing our
She
podcast.
is. Yes.
So much for ducks being in a row.
So my sweet Elizabeth with all her ducks in the row is actually our producer. So she is actually kind of in control of our chaos now. The chaos maker.
She is the chaos coordinator.
She is, yes.
She has been passed the torch.
She is, yeah. So see all of that. All of those years that I spent raising her and doing all those things, she turned out okay.
She sure did.
And I'm not sure how.
She's ignoring us right now.
She really is. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, but honestly, she didn't turn out okay because I'm perfect.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
that's a different show topic that we'll get into.
Yes. I don't have all the answers.
How to be perfect like Christine.
Yeah. That's you must be talking about somebody else because it's not me. So, yeah. So I wish I had better answers on school supplies. I know it's frustrating. Do the best you can. And know that, the school does not expect you to show up with everything the first day. Most schools, though, that first day or two is kind of getting routines down, and they don't get into the real meat of the curriculum until after that. But so send them with the little bits that you can. I know your kids are going to be upset. There's probably going to be tears, if they can't find what they want.
Well, but what's different though now is we have Amazon. So that's what we did with Jolie is she did use the same backpack 2 years in a row. We bought her one. She used it for the full year. And then we sent her with the old backpack because we wanted her to find out like what her friends were, what was cool, I guess, what was in style. And then when that backpack fell apart, we just went to Amazon and then it was just easy peasy to find whatever she wanted. So that's helpful now too. And that's something that we didn't have it when I was going to school.
No, we did not have that early on when Elizabeth started school. Yeah, and that's a good point. We have a lot more access to things now. We can get them quickly. I do always like to try to shop my local. I know there's a lot of controversy in that. I like to try to shop my local stores when I can, but don't judge anybody who does or doesn't. You got to do what's right for you. But yeah, that does make it easier nowadays.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, well.
Yeah.
And I remember when Amazon first came out, this is going to be crazy too. Not when they first came out, but when they started selling all of the things and when the whole point of Prime was you got it the next day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of went fizzled, but it's still convenient. It's still very convenient.
It hasn't slowed me down any. Those packages are still piling up. Yeah. So, should we talk about some stress and anxiety about going back to school or starting school?
Yeah, I think I probably have more stress and anxiety than Jolie does right now.
Yeah.
She's definitely very excited to get back to her friends. She needs a routine again because we are spending way too much time together. But she's excited. And I'm like, who's our teacher? Are we going to have a good year?
You'll be okay. You'll be okay. It's going to be okay. First of all, I know your child, and I know she's going to do well in any situation and with any teacher. One of the biggest things, actually, since we're talking about this, we'll back up to this little bit that I had here too. We talked about parent involvement. So let's talk about that a little bit, and then we'll come back to the stress. So it is really important to be involved in your child's education. Being involved in your child's education is more than just dropping them off at school today, going to some of the conferences, some of the open houses. There is a lot of research that the amount of support that parents give students at home and helping to create a learning environment does support their learning and what they're doing in school. Teachers, let your teachers do their jobs. We are educated. We go to school for lots and lots of years. We have to do lots of every year training. Trust your teachers to do their jobs, but also know that you also have a job. We should be partners.
Yes.
In this.
Partners. Yes.
Partners. Yes.
I always feel bad because I sometimes feel like I over communicate with my teachers, my kids' teachers. And there's times that I come in hot, because that's your kid. And if your kid is struggling, like you want the answers. But I always try to make my teachers know, like, I know what you guys do is not easy because I can't do it. That's why I'm not homeschooling. That's why I am sending my child for somebody else to do that part of the education. And I know it's hard. I know you got a lot of moms or parents like me that are like, well, come on, just like be nice to the teachers. It gets you a lot further. Like they're trying to help your child. They're trying to help you. They also have like 20 other kids in the class, maybe sometimes.
25, 27, 30.
And you're not the only upset or worried, concerned parent. And I will say that I have been super incredibly blessed with the teachers and the teaching experience that we have had so far. But I do know that there are parents that, I mean, I feel bad sometimes for how I talk to them, and I feel like I like have good relationships with the teachers. Just be nice to the teachers. Just be nice. That's all I want to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
because it's a lot. And I'm not a teacher, but I know. Just be nice.
Be nice. I mean, it's really no different than any other situation interacting with other people. The nicer you are,
Right.
the better you're going to get what you're trying to get, or at least get the information, or be able to resolve what the issue is. If you come in already like hot and fired up, and like, this teacher's the most awful person in the world, and your
Mhm.
kid wouldn't possibly do that. Yeah, they would.
Your kid would. They might not in front
Yeah.
of you, but they would.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, give your teachers some grace, and just know that they are there for your kids. It's not a high. We all know the downside of teaching. So those people are there because they want to be there. So
Mhm.
try to make them enjoy being there. We would appreciate it. So but anyways, yeah. So yeah, a lot of that goes with supporting your kids at home. Um, Things as simple as maybe having a little bit of a structure to when they do homework. I personally don't recommend the minute that you get home to do homework, because the kids need some time. They need some
Yeah.
downtime. Those little brains have been work. School is hard for kids these days, and the expectations are really
Oh,
high.
so crazy.
So those kids need some time to just kind of have some downtime, process. Especially like working parents, you don't want to come to school, try and get dinner going while your kid's at the table, trying to help them do your homework. I mean, I may or may not be speaking from experience,
Mhm.
but let me just tell you, that doesn't work. It doesn't. I know, and I'm the kind of person where, like, I got to get this done, and we got to do this, and we got to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've tried to do the, like, I'm cooking dinner, she's doing her homework, I'm trying to do both, and it's not working. And part of it is because I'm also not giving her the attention that she deserves.
Right.
So there becomes that battle of, well, now I'm just gonna do these things and argue with you because I want your attention. I don't want to share it with whatever we're cooking for dinner, even though I'm hungry.
Yeah.
It's a struggle. So yeah, so try to kind of have a routine, and give some time to give some breaks,
Yeah.
so that they're not coming right home. Let them. I need downtime when I get home from work. I have days where I come in and my family starts talking to me. I'm like, hey, listen, I'm gonna need 5 minutes, and then we can have this conversation. So kids are the same way.
Yeah. And we'll definitely get into routines more, because
Hmm.
we're going to be talking about that
Yeah.
next episode.
Yes. Yeah.
Um so this was really just a how to get started and how to get prepared and how to get
Yeah.
excited,
Yeah.
maybe calm down on some anxiety. Hopefully you feel a
Yeah.
little bit
I
better.
have a few tips on stress and anxiety.
Ooh, let's hear 'em.
Ooh. Do you want some tips on stress? I think I started this and then jumped back.
We're
If
crazy. It's the
if
chaos.
that's a problem for you, I'm sorry. It's just how I roll. My brain's all over the place, but I promise it's all going to be good information in the end. So, a couple of things to help yourself and your kids. Validate your kids' feelings.
Yes.
They're going to feel stressed. You're going to feel stressed. It's okay for you to, you know, like, yeah, I understand that you're stressed. I know that this is a big situation for you, and try to be really positive about it. A lot of times you'll be like, oh yeah, gotta go back to school. And this is like, the more positive you are about it, kids, they're watching us, they're feeding off of us. So make sure that you are setting that lead and being that example for pumping them up and getting them excited about the school year, but also validate those feelings. It's scary. You're going
Mhm.
to a new place. I get scared when I go to a new place and, like, have to be with new people, or maybe people I don't know. Try not to over schedule things, especially at the beginning of the school year. It's great to have your kids in some different activities, and we've got an episode about that coming up in a little while. But especially at the beginning of the school year, you want to kind of get those routines in place. It's Those kids are going to be tired those first couple days of school. It's hard.
Mhm.
It's a lot.
Big adjustment.
It's a big adjustment. Yeah. So just know not to overschedule. Expect that they're going to need some kind of downtime. And then remember to make time for your family.
Yeah.
Kids need to know that they are loved and supported. And I am a big advocate of a family dinner together.
Yes.
I know it's not always possible. We couldn't always do a family dinner every night because of schedules, but we did always make an effort to at least, even if we didn't eat dinner together, we had a time where we all just kind of touch base and talk about our days.
Yeah.
And we even did some of those silly, I say silly because like this is not like how my family normally does things, but we would do the like, tell me one good thing that happened today and one bad thing that happened today, just to kind of get that conversation going. And instead of the like, oh, how was school today? Fine.
Yeah.
What'd you do? Stuff. So
We go around and we say, what was your favorite part of today? And then we kind of go from there.
yeah, my favorite part of today is right now.
Aww.
All right. Any other? What else? What else, Mama? Mama with your baby going to school?
I think that's it. I
Good.
mean, I am a little
Good.
teary-eyed, but I
know.
think it's gonna be good. I think this was great too,
Yeah.
just hearing about I guess I didn't realize that teachers weren't done being like hired until right before the school year. So
Yeah.
that's really helpful too. Yeah, lots of
Yeah,
good stuff.
Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
have more good stuff to help
Yeah.
us get back into a school routine or homeschool routine or whatever
Whatever works
routine
for you.
you are doing. That's going to be coming up.
Let us know. Let us know what kind of school you're
Yeah,
doing. We'd love to hear it.
comment.
Yeah.
Talk to us. Let us know what your kids or your family's choice for schooling was.
Mhm.
And
If you have tips, advice, we are not experts. We're just two gals doing the best gals. Just
doing the best
two
we
gals
can.
doing the best we can.
But we are from different aspects of parenting. I mean, pre-Amazon, Amazon. But yeah. So, and then, like I said, the next show is going to be routine. So if you want to comment and give us some information on how you do your routines with the school year, we'd love to talk about that. And
I'm kind of a research nerd, so if you have questions about routines and you don't feel like researching them, let me know your questions and I can look into that for you.
so yeah,
Yeah.
but that's all. And we wish you, if you're going back to school already, because some people are,
Yeah.
good luck and have so much fun.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.
Bye.